Yeah, so first and foremost, I think, doing an audit, right?
Mhm.
And organizing. So I think of this one person that we just recently met with, and you know, she inherited some IRAs, which inherited IRAs are a whole different beast that you got to deal with. So now, not only does she have her own IRA, she also has inherited IRAs from her mom. And so, okay, how does that work? And are those beneficiaries properly, updated on there? So a lot of times we get these new accounts or inheritances, and we don't take the time to make sure that we take control of those and get them in line with our estate plan and who we want our beneficiaries to be. So, um, you know, that's really important to focus on. So, there's you just got to start with an audit, and just get organized. So, pulling all those accounts together, and really at that point, you don't have to do a whole lot, and you um, overthink it. Just I would just if I was you, I'd set up an appointment with us here at Take Point Wealth. Let's gather all your assets. Let's do a complete inventory. Let's gather all your accounts, and then we need to basically go through them
Mhm.
line by line and make sure that the beneficiary is aligned properly with your wishes. Your contingents are on there, and also it aligns with your trust and your will, so everything's aligned. We had a guy come in the other day, and unfortunately, his wife had passed, and she had some things all over the place, and she had some IRAs and some Roth IRAs, and she had them at several different custodians,
Wow.
you know, and she had different contingents beneficiaries on there than he would want, right? So if he would have just basically took over the accounts and took over the assets, but then take the time to go through and look at the next level, some other beneficiaries were on there that he didn't want. He wanted to change things up. So, we got to look at that, as well. So I just think the easiest thing is let's and that's part of the retirement planning process anyway, or financial planning 101, is the first appointment with us is really just one is going to be to get to know you and start kind of gather dattering and help you, collect all that proper data that you need. I mean, it's not our first rodeo. We've done this a bunch of times. So we're going to help walk you through it. And then we can evaluate all those accounts to make sure that they're structured properly.
Let's talk about a step-by-step checklist when it comes to talking about estate planning and you're meeting with people. Is there a certain step-by-step checklist that you go through with people that could help them figure all of these things out that we've talked about today when it comes to estate planning?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that is in that free appointment guide that we get you. Um, if people want to call and get that, we're happy to email it out to you, and or you can swing by the office and pick it up or whatever. We can mail it out to you. But it's gonna have that estate planning checklist, and it's quite. I mean, it's quite detailed. I could even, if folks give us a call or get on my calendar, I'll shoot you an email and basically give you that whole checklist. But it's quite extensive, and it's really looking at everything all the way down to like digital assets. Things don't people don't really think about digital assets like our Facebook accounts, our crypto accounts. Like, my wife probably has 4,000 photos up in the cloud, right? And I don't have, do I have logins to her cloud? I don't even have, I don't know how to get those. So, God
Mhm.
forbid something happened to her. Like, those are assets, right? People have cryptocurrency accounts. They have, digital accounts, things all over the place. So, like, little things like Facebook as an example, like if I were to pass away, Facebook is not going to talk to my wife. Like,
Right.
that account's probably going to stay up on indefinitely, and nobody's going to have access to it, right? Because it's got my passwords and all those kinds of things. So you have to go through a whole process to claim that account, with through Facebook and whatnot. And that's just a little example, but um, you know, you've got your taxable accounts, your tax deferred accounts, you got your bank accounts. Do I leave them transfer on death, payable on death? What does that actually mean? Do I put the bank account in my trust? Um, you know, just you know, like I said, a myriad of things. So the checklist is available, but first and foremost, it's just one doing that audit and gathering everything together for us, and we can kind of help you kind of walk through it.
Yeah, and again, to schedule that consultation, visit takepointwealth.com and you can give Erick a call at 352-616-0511. So as we wrap up today's show, I want to ask you, Erick, what are some of the key highlights, the main points, the most important points that our listeners must really learn about here today and must really get through their head when it comes to estate planning?
Yeah, great question. And I would offer this for all our listeners is, give us a call or jump on my calendar, and I'll get you out and just request the free book. We have a free book that we give away. It's called Everyone Needs a Living Trust. It's an amazing book. It's a short read. It's an easy read. It's actually written by an attorney, and it's a wonderful book. You can highlight it and get back to me and answer some questions. We can go over things, but I think that's the first step is key resources like trust and verify. To truly understand, you need to read up on it, right? And so we're going to give away that free book today. Everyone Needs a Living Trust. Just get a hold of us on the show, 352-616-0511, or you can just jump right on my website, takepointwealth.com. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a button. You can just click on that. It's going to say schedule a consultation or set an appointment. You don't necessarily have to schedule the appointment, but in the notes, you can put, hey, Erick, I would like to get the free copy of Everyone Needs a Living Trust. And we're happy to mail that right out to you and get it to you. And read that book. I think it's wonderful. I read it on a plane ride one day, and I don't know, it was like an hour. It's not real difficult, but written by an attorney. Don't take my word for it. I'm not an attorney. I'm just here to help guide you through that process. And we like I say, we take care of your estate planning in our office, but we are setting you up inside of a network of our attorneys. So everything's drafted by attorneys, reviewed by attorneys. We just make it an easy one-step process, and we save you a ton of money. So a fraction of the cost to get it done with us. We're just looking for the opportunity to meet you and help you through that process. So everyone needs a living trust. It's and bottom line is this: the reason that you want to do estate planning is you want to avoid probate.
Mhm.
We're trying to avoid probate, and we're trying to avoid unnecessary taxes. Those are the two keys, folks. And so, let's focus on that. Let's get it done and give us a call today, because you probably needed this done yesterday.